We are in the midst of another hot girl summer, finally, and we want your makeup to be ready. Luckily, Grace is here with smart sweat-proof makeup tips that will help you beat the heat. Hey, Grace.
Okay, so think about skin. You want to make sure that less is more. Nobody wants to be walking around with a full face of foundation, concealer, powder, SPF. Like, it's just a lot of layers to wear in the humidity. So think less is more. Stick to SPFs that have like a tint in them, or even SPFs with foundation or BB creams. Anything that's kind of light but will still give you the SPF is something that I always gravitate to in the summer, because those 2-in-1 products are amazing. My other tip when applying foundation, a lot of people apply it with a sponge. Saturate that with a lasting fix spray opposed to water, and then apply your foundation with that, or your SPF or your BB cream, and it will stay on longer.
Okay, I love that. Less is absolutely more. I hate the feeling of a heavy face on a hot, hot summer day. What is your next tip, Grace?
So let's talk about eyebrows. I feel like we don't need to have our eyebrows kind of melting off our face. And my recommendation is, when you're applying your eyeshadow, like your eyebrow makeup, always make sure that it's free of moisturizer or foundation or SPF. So what I like to do is, if I've done my face, I always take a clean Kleenex and kind of rub everything off, just to make sure there's no emollient products on my brows. And then I always gravitate to long wearing eyebrow products. So there's a really great one from Maybelline called Tattoo Studio Eyebrow Pomade Pencil, and it stays on for 36 hours. Once it sets, does not move.
Wow. Okay, that looks like it's going to last, but you have another tip to keep your brows on all day.
Yes, I recommend powdering your brows. So whether you're using a pencil, an eyeshadow, or a pomade, always powder after, and that will make them stay on longer.
You don't want them dripping down your face. That's terrible. Okay, so let's talk about our eye makeup. What do we do to make it stay?
Well, in the summer, I always recommend gravitating to anything waterproof. If you see waterproof mascaras, eyeliners, there's also eyeshadows that are waterproof. I'm wearing a cream one that is literally smudge and waterproof and stays on for 24 hours. Eyeliner as well. I love setting eyeshadow. I think a lot of people use eyeshadow and they wet their brush. Wet the brush with a lasting fix spray. Dip it into the eyeshadow, and I'm going to use like a bright blue, and I'm just layering that kind of like right on top of my black. And so you can get a pop of color. You have your black eyeliner as an anchor, but once it sets, it doesn't come off because of the setting spray.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so layering your products is key if you want it to last. What do you have for us next?
You love long wearing lipsticks. I think in the summer, yes, you can stick to glosses, but they don't stay on. So Maybelline makes a great Super Stay Matte Ink lipstick that I know that you love and I love, and I swear it does not come off. Like, I'm wearing one and it does not come off. It's mass proof. What I also love about this is that you can look glamorous in like very high humidity weather. However, another hack that I like to do is use this as blush. Because it stays on so well on the lips, I said, why not try it on the skin? So what I like to do is do a tiny bit of the foundation, a tiny bit, and then whatever foundation you used, and then mix a bit of the lip product. Grab a clean brush, work it on top, kind of like just make sure that your brush is a little saturated, and then really brush that in the skin. And you got to work quickly, but I swear it works as a stain, and it looks very, very seamless, and then it does not budge.
That's so smart. You know what else I do with those Maybelline Long Last lipsticks? Because I stopped at Shoppers and I bought another one yesterday because I'm an addict. So I like to put them on underneath if I have more of a glossy color, because I don't really love the glossy colors. I want it to be more matte. So I'll start with one of those because they're beautiful and matte and they're going to stay. And then I layer another color over top if I want to mix. But it sort of it makes it a little bit less glossy, and I love that. So those long-lasting lipsticks, now I know I can use them as blush too. This is fantastic. Okay, you've got one more hack for a sweat-proof summer makeup. What is it, Grace?
Okay, so I've talked about this lasting fix spray, and honestly, I just use that instead of water for everything. Make sure that you spray this before you leave the house, and so it sets your makeup, but then it makes your makeup stay on and last for at least 24 hours. But my other tip is spray inside your mask.
Oh.
So I know that we still have to wear our mask. If you spray inside, that will also help with keeping your makeup staying on longer.
Oh my goodness, I needed that tip. Let me ask you this, since everything's waterproof on your face, how do you get it all off at night?
It's a great question. You want to use products that have an oil base that will really kind of help break down the makeup.
Grace, thank you so much. These are great tips, and you know, it's a hot girl summer. It's a shot girl summer, actually. Double vaxxed and ready to go.